Bhagavad Gita, Chapter 8, Attaining the Supreme. Arjuna inquired, O my Lord, O Supreme Person, what is Brahman? What is the Self? What are fruitive activities? What is this material manifestation? And who are the demigods? Please explain this to me. Who is the Lord of Sacrifice, and how does he live in a body, O Madhusudana? And how can those engaged in devotional service know you at the time of death? The Supreme Personality of Godhead said, the indestructible, transcendental living entity is called Brahman, and his eternal nature is called Adhyatma, the Self. Action pertaining to the development of material bodies of the living entities is called karma, or fruitive activities. O best of the embodied beings, the physical nature, which is constantly changing, is called Adibhuta. The universal form of the Lord that includes all the demigods, like that of the sun and the moon, is called Adidaiva. And I, the Supreme Lord, represented as the Supersoul in the hearts of all embodied beings, am called Adiyagya, the Lord of Sacrifice. And whoever at the end of his life quits his body, remembering me alone, at once attains my nature. Of this there is no doubt. Whatever state of beings one remembers when he quits his body, O son of Kunti, that very state he will attain without fail. Therefore, O Arjuna, you should always think of me in the form of Krishna, and at the same time carry out your prescribed duties with your activities dedicated to me, with your mind and intelligence fixed on me. Surely you will come to me without doubt. One who always meditates upon me as the Supreme Personality of Godhead, his mind constantly engaged in remembering me, undeviated from the path, he, O Partha, is sure to reach me. One should meditate upon the Supreme Person as the one who knows everything, as he who is the oldest, who is the knower of everything, who is the controller, who is smaller than the smallest, who is the maintainer of everything, who is beyond all material conceptions, who is inconceivable, and who is always a person. He is luminous like the sun, and he is transcendental, beyond this material nature. One who, at the time of death, fixes his life hair between the eyebrows, by the strength of yoga, with undeviated mind, engages himself in remembering the Supreme Lord in full devotion, will certainly attain to the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Those who are learned in the Vedas, who utter Omkar, and who are great sages in renounced order, enter into Brahman. Desiring such perfection, one practices celibacy. I shall now briefly explain to you this process by which one may attain salvation. The yogic situation is that of detachment from all sensual engagements, closing all the gates of the senses, keeping the mind on the heart, fixing the mind on the heart and the life hair at the top of the head, one establishes himself in yoga. Being situated in this yoga practice and vibrating the sacred syllable Om, the supreme combination of letters, if one thinks of the Supreme Personality of Godhead and quits his body, he attains the spiritual planets. For one who always remembers me, I am easy to obtain because of his constant engagement in devotional service. After attaining me, the great sages who are yogis in devotion never return to this temporary world, which is full of miseries, because they have attained the highest perfection. From the highest planet in the material world down to the lowest, all are places of miseries, wherein repeated birth and death takes place. But he who attains to my abode, O son of Kunti, never takes birth again. By human calculation, 1,000 ages taken together form the duration of Brahma's day, and such also is the duration of his night. At the beginning of Brahma's day, all living beings come into being, and with the arrival, at the beginning of Brahma's day, all living entities become manifested from their unmanifest state, and with the arrival of Brahma's night, they are all merged into unmanifest again. Again and again, with the arrival of Brahma's day, all living beings come into being, and with the arrival of Brahma's night, they are helplessly annihilated. Yet there is another unmanifested nature, which is eternal and is transcendental to this manifested and unmanifested matter. It is supreme and is never annihilated. When all these worlds are annihilated, that part remains as it is. That which the Vedantis describe as unmanifested and infallible, that which is known as the supreme destination, the place from which, having gone, one never returns, that is my supreme abode. The Supreme Personality of Godhead, who is greater than all, is attainable by unalloyed devotion. Although he is present in his own abode, he is all-pervading, and everything is situated in him. O best of the Bharatas, I shall now explain to you the different times at which, passing away from this world, the yogi does or does not come back. Those persons who know the Supreme Brahman attain that Supreme by passing away from this world during the influence of light, the fiery god, at an auspicious moment of a day, during the fourth night of the waxing moon, or during the 6th month when the sun travels in the north. The mystic yogi who passes away from this world during the smoke, the night, the fourth night of the waning moon, or the 6th month when the sun passes to south, reaches the moon planet but again comes back. According to Vedic opinion, there are two ways of passing from this world, one in light and one in darkness. When one passes in light, he does not come back, but when one passes in darkness, he returns. Although the devotees know these two paths, O Arjuna, they are never bewildered. Therefore be always fixed in devotion. One who has accepted the path of devotion is not bereft from the results derived by studying the Vedas, performing sacrifices, undergoing austerities, giving charity, or pursuing philosophical or fruitive activities. Simply by engaging in devotional service, one attains all this, and in the end, he reaches my eternal abode.